everyone, how's it going? Today I'm going to be reviewing Army Painter's Speedpaint pens. Someone did tell me that they would send me a copy for review, but it actually never arrived, so I'm stealing this set from my partner and reviewing them anyway. He's already a stan for paint markers and was really excited about the possibilities for these Speedpaint markers, as were a lot of people. As far as I know, these are the only translucent wash-type pens on the market. All the other brands tend to be highly pigmented solid colours, which is great for coverage but not for contrast. So as you can see, I wrongfully tried pumping the pens to get the paint out first. There's a slot in the cap which allows you to press the tip down and let the paint flow through to the tip. You're not meant to pump it like you would with an Edding paint marker. It says this on the leaflet that I didn't read properly. You should just press down and hold. The little divot in the lid is supposed to let you do this without getting paint all over your hands, but it does mean that you have to squish the tip, which was upsetting me a little bit. So I opted for using my nail to press the plastic rim bit up so as not to destroy the tip. Although they do actually include 10 replacement tips for you if you do accidentally squish it too much. I love that they did that because they really didn't need to. It's a gesture of goodwill and a sign of a good quality product. It shows that the people at Army Painter care about your experience because they could have easily tried to get you to buy a whole new pen when your tip got ruined because it would technically be your fault. I also want to shout out that in their own video, they even go as far as to show you how to refill the pens with more Speedpaint if it runs out. They say that they're not designed to be refilled, but they show you how to do it anyway, so kudos for them for that. It did take me a fair few minutes to actually pump all of the 10 pens to be ready to paint. Around 30 actually, but you should only have to do that once. There are 10 colours in the starter set from left to right. Polished Silver, Grim Black, Gravelord Grey, Pallid Bone, Hardened Leather, Zealot Yellow, Fire Giant Orange, Blood Red, Magic Blue, and Orc Skin. If we compare them to the Speedpaint 2.0 Mega Set, which I reviewed before, link below, you can see that around half of the colours are exactly the same as the liquid equivalent. Bearing in mind the painted ones have 2 coats and the pens only have 1. The Fire Giant Orange, though, seems to be a new addition to the range, at least it wasn't included in the Mega Set, which I think was a critique of mine last time. With so many colours in the set, it was really lacking a vibrant orange, so it's nice that they included one in this set. The yellow in the pen set is more vibrant than the paint set. The grey is also a touch warmer, which I appreciate, and the Pallid Bone seems to be quite a bit paler, but as I said, this only has 1 coat compared to 2. Overall, the silver, black, brown, red, blue and green seem exactly the same as their counterparts, whereas the grey, Pallid Bone and yellow seem to have had some tweaking, and the orange is a whole new colour altogether. For only 10 colours, it's a decent array. Having the 3 neutral colours, the grey, bone and brown, is a good choice because they're good layering colours. As I'll show you later when I'm painting, I ended up using the Pallid Bone over almost all of the model. I was really gagging for a magenta or a purple when I was painting. I guess because it's almost all the colours of the rainbow, but not quite all the colours. Making the set 12 colours and adding a pink and a purple would have made me a lot happier. Although that would have pushed the price point over £40. This set is currently selling for £38, which works out as £3.80 per pen. They're not cheap. They're more than a standard paint bottle, but it's not crazy expensive. I'll get onto whether I think it's worth the price at the end of the video. I was determined to use every colour from the set on this one model, and only Speedpaint pens for the entire thing. I just prime with white and it's pens all the way from there. I wouldn't say the pens are actually designed to be used this way. They're marketed as being part of your toolkit, not a replacement for your entire system. But I avoided doing any dry brushing or base colours or anything other than the white, so you can see this product in its entirety. Side note, if you were wondering, this model and the comparison model I'll paint later were sent to me by my friends at Ott's Workshop. You can try the code FriedFishy at checkout for 5% off, although I did notice that there seems to be a 12% October discount already on their website. So you can go get them Cthulhu's, and make sure to click my affiliate link if you also want to help my channel out, in the description below. Anyway, back to the speed paints. I had no issues with the flow at all. The consistency of the paint in the pens seems to be exactly the same as the dropper bottles. So the pens are designed well, the tips are fine and very simple to use. They do also mention this in their video, but you do have to wait for the first layer to dry before going over it. Otherwise you can end up burning through the first layer back to white. I did end up accidentally doing this because I wanted to test how much you can really wet blend them. The answer is you can't really. This is just something about pens in particular and my painting style that I found particularly painful not being able to blend. Pens are way more suited to a graphic painting style and even more so to armoured miniatures. Square things like tanks and chunky armour that you can edge highlight. And I'm trying to blend rainbow colours onto an organic mini, and it's just not what you should be using these pens for. I tried my best to make this boulette as blended and finished as possible using only the pens, and this is the best I could do. For comparison, I wanted to test out similar colours using regular speed paints with a dropper bottle. The main benefit being that I can wet blend again. Thank God I'm so much more at home with a brush in my hand. I just couldn't deal with a rigid pen for large surface areas. I think it took me a lot longer to paint with the pens than a brush, just because the brush holds a lot more paint at once, and it's way easier to wash over the surface. Let's take a look at the model side by side, so you can see the difference in the qualities of the brushed model and the one that I coloured in. To me, it's obvious which medium has been used for either model. The painted one looks like a watercolour and the drawn one looks drawn. Like I said, I would much rather use the pens for something more square. An armoured unit or a tank or something with sharp edges. That would be a perfect use for a graphic painting style. I'm imagining a comic book style drawing type vibe with a graphic black and white highlights. I'm kind of triggered by the pens on their own because I think a dry brush would really bring out the details in the model, but I'm just trying to showcase the pens only so you can see the colours over white and nothing else. So as part of your toolkit, do I think these pens are worth it? Well, if you want to paint with a pen, then yes. Personally, I would always go for the regular speed paints over a pen, just because they're more versatile. The benefits of using a pen are that you don't have to keep dipping your brush in the paint, you have less waste because you're not squirting the paint onto a tray and only using a portion of it, and it's less messy. So if you don't have a lot of spare time, like me, it's easier to fit in 5 or 10 minutes of poppy painting. You can sit on the sofa, like my partner does, and paint with the pens whilst watching TV, and without getting shouted at by me for splashing paint on the soft furnishings. Personally, it's not a product that I was gagging for, but there don't seem to be any other brands of paint pens that make a similar product. They all tend to be opaque colours, not washes like these. The product itself works well, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. They even throw in some replacement tips in case you damage your first ones, which makes me happy. £3.80 isn't too much to ask for a pen, I don't think. But would I rather spend that on a dropper bottle? Probably. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these Speedpaint pens. Are you like my partner and think pens are the new way forward for miniatures? or will you be sticking to your brush? And let me know if you would like a paint pen comparison review as well. I would say thank you to Army Painter for sending me some pens to review, but they never arrived, so maybe next time. Don't forget to give me a like if you like this video, and make sure to subscribe for more paint reviews and other hobby painting content. Until next time, bye!